That's a nice way of putting it.
Right, because people are going to
Because
say,
you're going to say, well, wait, we just talked about that. Well, it's for you.
So, so that's what Joel was thinking is, yes, getting an engineer that will design a bridge that would go both ways. We can build it ourselves or go through the state like that. I'm not sure if the price that we got thrown at up in Hackworth, the bridge design itself was right around $30,000 for one bridge. So I'm not sure what Joel was thinking of doing all three bridges or.
He says 2 here, but.
Yeah. Well, the biggest one he's concerned about is the one at the very top, on the Drusel Road. Because we always can fudge the other one.
Oh,
that one there.
Nobody drives down those other roads.
Right.
Drusville Road carries
A lot of traffic through there.
Yeah, the old Armco steel culverts, which that is, have they gone totally out of style?
Yes, because what it is there's some type of a bacteria that is actually eating the metal. And if you go down there and look at it, and this is something I learned up there with the bridge people, if you look and you see on the bridge, you'll see like an orange, not rusty orange, but a brighter orange. And that's actually a bacteria that is actually eating the metal.
Okay.
Eats them right away.
Bacteria are getting so clever.
I know.
They've been clever a long time.
They're getting much more clever.
No, they scavenge things like uranium, heavy metals out of seawater.
All that stuff, yeah. So that's what's happening is there are all these metal culverts are failing almost the exact same time. That's why everybody.
Well, they're typically a 45-year solution anyway.
Right. But they're
They're
failing fast.
relatively very inexpensive to put in because you don't have to pour in abutments.
Yeah. And somebody asked them, why? And the guy says, well, we could have one stream that it's attacking it, and then a mile down the road, a different stream, and nothing's happening to it. It's something that they don't know where it's, well, put it this way, they didn't know where this bacteria was coming from. That did that, and the metal just eats it away. So it's shortening, instead of a 40-year, 5-year bridge, you're looking at 30 years of failing.
Well, there are bacteria that metabolize all sorts of things.
Yeah. I just got it. Cool. That's interesting.
In the deep sea vents, those creatures metabolize hydrogen sulfide, which is very toxic to us.
Yeah, we have to get bacteria to work for us.
How about the spectrums? They'll do a better job there.
Well, anyway, I think it is prudent to plan far ahead and if we have a decent design. And as far as, unfortunately, in many cases, a professional design belongs to the designer. Schools are the same way. They churn out, the architects that churn out a school, and they'll charge you the 8% or whatever they get, and go to the next town, same design, they're going to charge them 8%. Use that.
Tweak it a little bit here, a little bit there.
That is their property.
Unless we negotiate otherwise.
Unless you negotiate otherwise. Try to get two for the price of one.
So anyways, so that's being considered an infrastructure type planning ahead.
So there might be some possibility of combining this into another warrant article?
No, this would be the two standalone. So we need to save money to build these bridges.
Oh, I know, but I'm just trying to address Mary Ann's concern.
Put them maybe close together.
Close together and
Try to reduce confusion in the masses.
Right.
yes.
So maybe put one in front of the other and say, okay, fine, this is what we'd like to do, but we're still going to need
talk about
$200,000 to build a power bridge. It's not going to.
Okay, Article 18, discontinue the Town Hall Capital Reserve. And they would be transferred to the general fund or
It
the
would
fund
be into the
balance?
fund balance.
Yeah, I think that's miswritten in this.
I think so too. It would be the fund balance. Actually, the general fund, which then would go into the fund balance. Just like when I sold
Okay.
trucks, that goes to the general fund, and then
Okay,
at
so
the end of the year it goes into the
its eventual destination is the
fund
fund
balance.
balance.
They can't spend it.
Nope.
It's not been appropriate.
That's roughly 65K or something.
Yeah, 67.
So it might be prudent to put this particular article somewhere close to some of these other spending articles and say,
You next to the 500,000 one.
no, if they are close together, then you can have a continuum of discussion. Rather, if you start getting discussions this far apart, people lose track. If they're close together, one can be argued against the other. Just a thought.
And I think people are going to want to hear about what are plans for the town hall.
Yeah.
I mean, do we need a warrant article for the repairs that we were thinking of making to the gym?
Actually, yes, there's going to be a warrant article on, that reminds you, I haven't found that one yet.
That's going to be on the school law.
That's going to be on the school board warrant, the school warrant, correct.
That's right.
So that's going to be a whole different thing.
But we should be prepared to talk about that, I think, and then talk about this.
Yeah, well, and that's a whole other discussion of what we do with that building. I mean, it's technically a steel building. You can peel the wall outside of it off and we start all, and use the same now if it's the structure's fine on that or not, and just start all over again, or, I mean, there's so many,
The town hall, you're
yeah,
talking about?
what do we have now?
Yeah, I was thinking to tear the front of it off and just drive
Absolutely.
it. Just have the trucks in.
Well, that's Saxon, that's what he says, we just pull the whole front right off it, because it's just a metal building, it's an arched building, so it's just a matter of, you can put anything you want on the front, it's just a fascia. Pull it right off and put a stretch pin on it, you know, I mean, have, what are those guys that do, it's like, lost the name on it. But anyways, it's, paneling and insulation and paneling on the outside. Ford, I think, could. Ford something, it's a company that here that does it.
But doesn't this then impinge upon the article to build some sort of facility on Bragg Lane?
Correct.
So if it were no longer needed for the friendly meals, which I presume was part of the Bragg Lane thing, then that changes our perception
Of what we can do with that
of what
building.
we could do with that building.
Yeah.
Casino.
There you go.
Very small.
A swimming pool.
Article 19.
I'd like to know how many people would like to be on an official budget committee.
Absolutely not.
I'm not sure where Joel put that on there, because
I
someone
bet you did.
suggested.
Whatever selectman wants to get out from under actually making any decision at all, put that on there.
Well, they still do though, they actually build the budget, and then they have meetings with the budget committee and the selectmen all to get together, and that's how the budget committee actually has the meeting, has the say of what gets put in there, but they still have to get together and build it. Acton has a budget committee, and they're doing it right now, they're building their budget.
I might actually,
Statutory budget committee has the responsibility
At
for
the end.
developing the budget.
Yeah,
I
at
might
the end.
actually vote for that, to get out from under these
Oh.
budget committee meetings. Not run.
And then there's the problem is then you gotta find people to run it, do it.
Anybody
Appointed by the town manager.
I think it's appointed at
anybody
first.
who
And then
volunteers
they're
to
voting.
serve on it
I see.
is of sound mind.
So it's,
Yeah.
So what else is on here?
I don't know, Joel said
there.
that someone requested for him to put it on there.
Maybe it's filming.
So I have no idea.
Does that
I
have to
thought-
be a petition?
My understanding was that
Well, they can put it on if they want.
there
It has
were,
to be one of the selectmen put it
Yeah.
on.
But the other,
At this point.
but at least two of the selectmen need to vote to have it actually on the warrant article. So if the other two don't want to have it, then it will never make it onto this.
Well, look at what happened to the Fall Mountain budget. Statutory budget. How long did it last?
And
3 or 4 years?
And actually, they did not, they just came up with a figure, the bottom line figure, they did not actually build the guts of the budget. That was the way that budget committee was. So they would stand up in one of the school meetings and say, we would, it's at $10.3 million, and we wanted that $10 million. And then the school board is the one that would have to find places where to cut it. The budget committee did not do that. That's how that budget committee was set up.
No wonder they went down in flames.
It went down in
Down in
flames.
flames.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have any responsibility of
Is
what.
it, There's a very bad track record with budget, official budget committees.
I have. Yeah, whoever shows up at town meeting is the budget committee, as far as I'm concerned. Because that's where we do it.
And we have one left, Article 20. Now, that one contains no money. Is this presumably going to be funded from
Well,
thin air?
I believe that, and I said to Joel last night that this was very, very vague. I would never vote on something like this to begin with. And he said that more information is coming. I said, okay, great. I believe Langdon is going to put on a warrant article 2, possibly.
Do you know that for sure?
No, I think I was seeing what
Talked
he
to
was.
somebody today and they didn't know anything about it.
Okay.
But
So I think it's all up in the air right now of who's coming, where they're going to buy it, but they are in search, and I really think they're going to have a hard time getting anything put together by March. But
So, 50 by 100, what, I'm not good with that. What's that building with that? Give me a comparison.
Pretty big.
pretty good size. That's probably the same size as the town hall, I would say.
Okay. And this is so that they can have all their meals there? And
Everything's going to be located in that place. It's just going to be consolidated and more organized.
It's a storage, cooking,
Yeah.
serving.
And they're not going to have 10 freezers. They're going to have like one. A lot of times those will have what they call outside walk-in freezers, so they actually have the structure outside the building. It's butted up against the building. They have a door that they walk into and it goes out. But like I said, this is all very, very vague. Of what,
yeah, aesthetically speaking, it's great.
In other words, they have no plans, no money, they just have an idea.
correct.
Which is lovely, but I think
This is
the
lovely.
town of Alstead would like to know what this is going to look like and how much it will cost.
Now, is Friendly Meals a nonprofit corporation?
Federal
501c3 and that whole schmear? So they can,
They're going to look for grants and other things like that to pay for
Oh,
the
yeah.
building, but my biggest point with this whole Bragg Lane is that you need a site plan before you put a building up anywhere on a piece of land like that.
Septic system.
Everything.
Wait a minute, some of that
You got a
was done-
well, you got a septic system, and you got a building, okay, well, now you can't do something here.
Okay, but some of that was done 10 years ago because we were going to move some of the flood families up there.
That was for other buildings, right?
Yeah, so there was a boatload of stuff done up there.
Right.
Five
But that wasn't-
families,
But that was in a municipal site plan.
it's true.
We could have a swimming pool out there, we could have tennis courts out there, you could, I mean, sky's the limit.
I'll vote for that.
You know?
We could have a town hall.
Build a
We have a town
That
hall,
was
we
the
have a
plan.
fire department, one truck, one fire department. Close the other one down, I didn't say that loud tonight. So,
historically, way back when, the town leased land, town land.
Yeah.
In fact, there is one or two of them in Alstead, two of them reported in Alstead, so only one of them I've actually found in the registry of deeds, and that's where that little yellow house is.
yeah,
That was leased to Samuel Hutchinson in 1817 with a 999-year
your
lease.
lease.
Oh, how British.
As far as I know, the town still owns that land.
Underneath it.
Do we still get lease payments?
I don't think any money was involved, but I have to look exactly.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a lot of questions I have on that.
Yeah.
So in other words, the town does have the ability to lease land for a long term.
Correct.
999 years is no longer
Right.
considered a rational lease.
But what happens to the building if they decide to go someplace else, or they expand, or I mean, there's just a million questions that they
There's
can answer.
parking concerns, water,
Runoff, because now you're looking at commercial,
runoff.
right, DS, and everything else, I mean, this is,
All those adult diapers going into the septic system?
oh, they just put a pipe that goes directly into the street.
Oh, that's the good old days. Anyway, this is one which I think is very much a work in progress.
Absolutely.
Probably nothing we need to comment on.
Not till we have more information, yeah.
Okay, folks, have we gone through the bulk of things that should come before us tonight?
Were we gonna add up, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
I thought we were gonna add up the,
Add on tally, I didn't bring that in.
Ann's already done it, so what's
One
the,
point.
Yeah, it's over $1 million.
Yeah.
Well, those things
An
that are coming
extra
out of.
700 on our taxes, that's
Yeah.
annual.
That would be, that would be this year, I mean, next year. If you
It's
voted
divided by 2 tax bills, not 700 on each tax bill.
No.
which is 3%, no, it's not, it's more than that.
Now, some of these
It's
are
on a
being
$200,000
transferred,
house.
be transferred out of capital reserves.
Right,
So
so-
add those in.
Right.
Add the ones which are new money, so it's quote unquote.
Yeah. And that does not, those numbers don't include a truck, if they belong to a truck.
Wah, wah, wah.
Jacob thinks he's gonna get $200,000 worth of paving and a new truck this year.
And.
Do we look like Santa Claus?
Yeah, if people start seeing all these big numbers on there, freak. I know what I thought, but actually I think I put my notes down below there, but.
So I don't see an article that was last year around the sidewalk that was proposed.
I think that's a dead topic.
Someone needs.
And the $5,000 for tree work is now
Correct.
That they can show people.
Yeah. I haven't heard anybody, right, I haven't heard anybody talking about
Sidewalks.
sidewalk, even though I think it's drastically needed.
It's probably a good idea, but somebody has to come up with a plan first.
Correct.
And then get the money. And, yeah, once you have a plan, then you can say this is what it's gonna cost. And then people will buy in. But last year there was no plan, it was just.
And they zeroed it out. Last year's warrant articles.
So I'm looking at your notes, and I don't know whether we have enough money for this or we don't.
I had an Article 21, 5K for the tree work. That will be coming along.
This is my opinion. Anything that is infrastructure, like paving the roads, bridges, any of that stuff that has to do with infrastructure of the town should be high on the priority list. It should be funded 100% from surplus. And then the rest of it,
So how much do we have in unassigned fund balance at this point?
we have 750,000.
Because we don't have enough to cover all this.
Correct. Yeah.
And that does not include what's anticipated
We-
next year.
That is not, but we can't spend what's from this year, that's gonna roll over to next year's.
Right.
That's correct. So we have about 726,000, actually we have exactly 726,074. Out of that, we need to keep right around, I think the goal is around 250,000.
So we got roughly 500,000.
Yeah.
A little less.
475.
475 available.
For fund balance. And last year, we applied voluntary, involuntarily, because I was wrong last night. I thought we raised new monies, because when the bridge passed, money was supposed to come from the capital reserve and go into the fund balance and then get transferred in, and it actually came out of fund balance, is what it did. So we actually withdrew last year, that $64,000 out of the fund balance. So yeah, so last year we just got $364,000 from fund balance. And then we ended up with actually, I guess the way the math goes, unassigned, it was a little over $1 million. We withdrew last year $364,000, which gave us a balance of $726,000.
So we could conceivably, as an upper limit, withdraw $475,000 from unassigned fund balance.
And well, Linda hasn't made a comment which concerns me, but I guess they're spending a lot of money lately. She goes, I projected somewhere around $160,000 at the end of the year, and of course that could change, but there's no science to what I do, I just kind of.
Right.
So I mean, that would be a use for next year too, part of that.
But then what, that $60-some odd thousand coming in from,
Well, you can't count on that yet.
no, last year. 60-some odd thousand from capital reserve with respect to the town hall.
Oh, if that passes.
No, that passed last year. What happened last March? We had the two articles.
We had one failed, one passed.
Right.
The one that failed was to liquidate the,
And the other one was to put $60-some odd thousand.
which we did.
Which we did.
Out of fund balance.
So that's in there.
Right.
Is that part of this 700? No, that'd be part of next year.
No, it's already been taken out. Yes, excuse me, I misunderstood. Yes, it's part of that $364,000 that we took out last year. It's for the bridge fund.
So at any rate, as an absolute maximum, we could appropriate and move $475,000 out of unassigned fund balance.
Right. That would drain it right down.
That would bring it down to $250,000.
But we also have money in capital reserve, which I don't see.
Which is actually the bottom one. It's moving, or because I was going to suggest pushing all that, clean it all out. 380,000 out of the capital reserve fund out of the fire truck, which would have, then we'd have to go up with another. So yeah, so we'd have 380 from that plus the 475.
I'm just trying to set boundaries, what the parameters are, we need to work, and we add all this stuff up and say, gee, it's more than
Right now,
we
putting
can
money.
spend without going into raising taxes.
Well, how much are we willing to raise taxes?
That's the question.
That we don't know until we answer this first question.
Well,
Well,
I guess.
I think we kind of do, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, if you spend another if you raise new money of $160,000, your tax rate, your $1,000, $200 normal house. That you're gonna raise somebody's taxes. And to some people, $200 is a lot of money.
I think that's the maximum.
And so if they increase the budget by 3%, used up something like 60. Anyways, it was, $46,000, and we raised it by 29 cents per thousand, $50, so $120,000. We raised it $1 if we increase the budget by 3%.
What did you say how much did you say we had in the, fire?
We have,
380?
Almost 400.
392. There's probably something in there.
Okay.
And this is something that this is basically the stock market. It isn't very safe, but these numbers do go up and down. I was always kind of curious, do we let these people know that we're going to be spending this money this year? Do they move into a safer one that, what happens if everything craps out and this stuff goes down to $350,000 and we have on the warrant and we want to draw $380,000? What happens?
Nothing. We don't do it.
I guess.
It isn't there, you can't do it.
This is not in the stock market.
It's invested, it's not in a bank. It fluctuates up and down. I've looked at this number sometimes and it's been, at one time when the market was down, we actually lost money. We put $5,000 in, we actually had less money than $5,000.
Yeah.
So it can go up and down.
But it's in
It's a safer thing.
municipal bonds and a few corporate, and this is very safe stuff.
It is very safe, but like I said, you never know.
The bond market,
If it's all in treasuries, it's probably.
it happens, what,
You're making-
twice a decade, 29 and 09, and Glenn, Flat Price of Century.
In all the great fussing you do with numbers, can you break this down without all the yada yada in it? We have this much, what this really shakes out to be. And then let me right this second.
Mary Ann, that was going to be our homework.
Oh, I think maybe he's already done that.
Yeah, this is basically the adding up all the warrant articles. The top one is what Joel's list is, which actually is my list of 1.12 or something like that.
Could you shoot this to us?
Absolutely.
Thank you, that'd be lovely.
And
But yada yada in between
Does
is
that discriminate between those funds that would come from existing capital reserve?
well, this I have set up that you would withdraw from, say, to buy the fire truck, you would withdraw say $380,000, which then gives you a balance of $120,000. You have to come up from someplace.
Yeah.
So it depends on whether you want to take it out of fund balance.
Yeah, well, that's one decision that we have to come to.
Right.
Just as long as you say, here's money that's in fund balance, here's money that's in capital reserve, let's not mix them together.
And
somehow or other keep them separate and see if.
exactly, and the other, of doing infrastructure type stuff, of, you're that, and then I always look at it, if the ambulance breaks, we have to buy another one.
Yeah.
Realistically, I've looked at the numbers, I mean, cost us a lot more not to have that. So you would fund that higher. If one of the.
Yeah, but if the ambulance breaks in the middle of the year, and even if you have the money in a capital reserve, you can't spend it.
Right.
Without a town meeting act.
The biggest thing is, though, is that the amount of money we're spending now, we almost don't even need the capital reserve accounts anymore. Because we're gonna be raising and appropriating that money every year. So as soon as you put it in, it's coming back out.
Yeah. But some of these are longer term, the bridges and so forth.
And those are the ones that I would definitely keep funding. The other ones I would drop down to $5,000 to $10,000.
The one of the places where I see, and this is just my assessment at this point, where there's going to be trouble is the amount of money for paving. That's going to be contentious because it's just double what it's been historically.
Right.
We will have the usual squawk over the striping. But that we can
We're
expect.
counting on you, Donna.
I'll do my best to come through again.
Thank you for doing that.
And for the others, if what we think is prudent for warrant articles exceeds available from fund balance and existing capital reserve, then we have to really think, how much are we willing to suggest the taxes go up, new tax money should go down? And that can be a hard sell.
But we don't know what all three selectmen are thinking.
Well, yes, but that's what I'm trying to say is that we are technically an advisory
No, I know.
committee,
Yeah.
so they should be
We
looking
gotta
at what
set
we
up our line
think.
what we think is approved and tell them.
They'll do what they want, and then,
They could ignore us.
Yeah, they can.
They can fire us.
yeah.
They're very good at it.
No problem. That would be shocking.
Until February, right, when we have control, we as a committee, but we as
People.
voters
The bottom line is the people, the voters have the final
say
say.
in that meeting.
But they can only vote on things that are put before them.
Correct.
I think actually we're 10 minutes over.
Okay.
Oh,
All right,
forgot we didn't start at
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
So
I was thinking we started at 7, but we didn't.
Well, we were.
I know, Donna did, so I
Yes.
After school, yeah.
one final question. Meetings on the 23rd and the 30th. What is your pleasure?
I don't think it really matters.
We have a
Yeah,
meeting
it
next
was.
week, which will be the 16th, correct?
Yes.
I will be there, but another conflicting meeting.
And after that, then the 23rd and the 30th are two questions.
It's the day before Christmas. Okay.
But a lot of people are going to be traveling that day too.
Are we
If it's your
traveling?
pleasure not to have meetings on those 2 dates, I would entertain a motion to that.
I'm hoping we do not meet on the
I
23rd
don't
and the
think that's
30th.
fair.
We don't,
We don't have everyone here.
yeah.
Table it till
Can
the
we-
next meeting.
Well, either that or just poll, send an email, and see what everybody thinks.
I move.
What, are you baking cookies?
I heard a motion, I have not heard a second, so I will entertain a
Second,
motion to
somebody.
adjourn.
Second,
Second.
motion adjourned.
Second, okay, we
Stand adjourned. Motions to adjourn are not debatable.
And I'll send this out.
Thank you, that'd be
Okay.